Okay, now I'm going to talk about how we can use Scratch to create an animation to tell the fog print story. In this animation, we will need two backdrops. One is blue sky, another one is woods. And we'll delete the default white backdrop. And we will need some sprites for the animation. Obviously, we will need a princess sprite. And also a prince sprite for the animation. And we'll delete the default cat sprite in the program. And then we will need to add a fog costume for the prince, because eventually the fog will turn into a prince. And we want the fog to be costume number 1 for the prince sprite. And then now we need to click on this information icon and change the rotation style to flip instead of rotation. This means that later on when I change the direction of the prince, I'm going to flip the image instead of rotating the image. And I will also need to move the prince sprite to the bottom right corner of the stage. Now I'm going to set up the instructions for the prince sprite. These are some of the instructions that we will need for the prince sprite. When we click on the green flag, we want to hide the prince sprite, so that at the beginning of the story, we won't see the prince. We switch the costume of the prince to a fog, so later on when the prince sprites appear, it's going to appear as a fog. And we want it to point to direction 90 degrees. That means we want it to point to the right hand side initially. These are some instructions that we will need for the princess. When we click on the green flag, I'm going to move the princess to the bottom left corner of the stage, which is x equals to -142, y equals to -72. And then we're going to repeat these two instructions for 10 times. That means that we're going to move the princess for 15 steps, wait 4.5 seconds, and then move another 15 steps, and then wait for another 0.5 seconds. And we are going to repeat these two instructions for 10 times. This repeat block is what we call a loop in a computer program. If we want a program to repeat some instructions again and again, then we will use a loop. And the princess is going to walk across the screen with these instructions. For the backdrops, when we click on the green flag, we want to use the blue sky backdrop initially. After 5 seconds, we switch to the next backdrop, which is the woods backdrop. And this is how the animation is going to look like after we add the instructions for the backdrops. Okay, now these are the instructions that we need to add to the princess. When the backdrop switches to the woods, we move the princess to the bottom left corner of the stage. Wait for 2 seconds, and then glide the princess to this location in 2 seconds. And then say chill for 2 seconds. And this is how the animation is going to look like after we add these instructions. Finally, we'll add some more instructions for the prince. When the backdrop switches to the woods, we show the prince, and then we wait for 4 seconds. We change the direction of the prince to point to the left hand side, and then we wait for another 2 seconds. Switch the costume of the prince to the second costume. And this is how the animation for the frog prince story is going to look like.